Esko Boroske Sasiko Beminande. When you begin to prioritize, I was speaking with my brother Tolu, and we're talking about an ancient prophetic order in Nigeria that some of our fathers walked in. And I was telling him that it is only that order that I don't know their technology. But I showed him the context from whence all prophetic ministry derive. I showed him the counsel of God. That's the quadrant of divinity, the conclave of the Godhead. It was in that counsel of God that the policy, let us make man, came from. And there are other policies that came from the counsel of God. So when you hear a man's prophetic delivery, you should be able to tell what counsel he's coming from. Because if all he has is a gift, are you there? The prophetic moves from a gift into a government. The texture of a man's prophetic capabilities is tied to the counsel from whence he operates. You must have seen in the book of Revelation several times that God will be in the company of these four living creatures. Have you seen that before? That's the council of angels. Because angels are in the administrative artery of the implementation of the plans of God. In fact, one of the assignments of a watchman is to know what errands angels are carrying, because that is suggestive of the policies that have been decreed from the throne room. Then I found out, when I was opportune to shake the last of the order of prophets in that priesthood yesterday, as I shook him, I saw where he was operating from. I saw that they operate from the council of angels. And that's why there's a lot of angelic encounter around. The order of prophet that you are will determine, is that the counsel you speak from that determines the order of prophet that you are. What you are allowed to see, where you are allowed to stand in the realm of the spirit, will determine the kind of message you can bring. And do you know that God never takes any man into his counsel that is not pleasing to him? The day of prophets has gifts. That day has passed. And you can give a word of knowledge and maybe probably call somebody's phone number. We are talking about policies coming from heaven that will determine what God will do in the earth, the patterns to expect, the strategies that have been adopted. Those come from councils in the heavens. Only men that are pleasing to him can be brought into those quarters. My time is spent, and I need us to give the prophet a window to bring counsel to us. That is in his prophetic ministry. Now see, before I come down from this place, in the book of Revelation chapter 1, in Revelation chapter 1 verse 4, John to the 7 churches which are in Asia. Grace be unto you, and peace from him which is, which was, and which is to come, and from the 7 spirits which are before his throne. You know, if you read the apostolic writings of John, or it is in the nature of apostolic writings for the apostles to begin with a salutation. Many times, if you can decipher that salutation, you will understand a lot about the context from whence the speakings have come. But In the case of John, in the book of Revelation on the Isle of Patmos, instead of him to bring us greetings from places on earth, he begins to bring us salutations from places in the heavens. So he brings greetings to us. He brings grace and peace. And the one from whom he brings grace and peace is the one that was, the one that is, and the one that is to come. So part of the counsel that he brought to us came from mouth to mouth spoken words from the lips of Jesus the Eternal. He brings greetings to us from where? From the seven spirits which are before his throne. That's what I mean by government. See, but because the spirits before his throne, are you with me? You are not with me. There are seven spirits before his throne. And so when he sits on the throne and he issues decrees, this is what I want to do. Those seven spirits before his throne, they go into the earth to begin to implement the decrees that. So that's what I mean when I say the council of heaven. Are you there? So those are the agencies, the manifestations of the Spirit of God that will be moving into the earth for implementation. It is from that point that we have the judging lamps. New levels of discernment coming. So that even though this person is preaching with the right scriptures, saying the right things, the spirit by which he's saying it did not come from before that throne. You still remember the believers that were going to Emmaus? When Jesus vanished from their sight, they said something. Did not our heart burn? Those are the judging lamps. That burning is from there. Because if you go to chapter 5, you are going to find that those seven spirits are seven judging lamps to increase discernment in the heart of his faithfuls when darkness begins to cover the earth. So our salvation to navigate accurately in the end time when darkness begins to come is those prophets that receive directly from the councils. So I've been studying the ministry of the great prophet Babalola, the things he did, the kind of miracles he did. Basically, he preached salvation. So the strength of his stature was not revealed in his message. The strength of his stature was revealed in his encounters and the things that he could do by the powers that were available to him. He pleased God. So what God did to him was that he brought him into the council. One of the things that God does to you when you please him is that you become not. You are not. You are taken from among men and brought into the council. It's just like somebody takes you from his living room through his dining room, you navigate through the kitchen, then through the corridor, then he takes you to the bedroom, and then he tells you something. He would have been able to tell you that thing in the sitting room, but everybody there will hear it. Or it takes you to where people don't come. That's where I want to go. That's where I want to operate from. I now showed Tolu where we operate from. That one I will not say to the public. It belongs to us. I said, Tolu, this is where we operate. That is why we're in custody of revelatory powers. It is because of the counsel he has brought us. If I hear you talk, I know whether you are coming from this, our place, I've been there for a while, so I know how the thing sounds there. It is because of that place where I stand. That was where I was able to trace that this brother is playing from the market. But although you might be seeing him, he's in the market. I showed him. I had to call my brother, Prophet Ayo. I said, I just finished a conference now. Someone that is considered as a great prophet of Nigeria was the one talking. And because of the time I've spent in the labor of the scriptures, are you there? When people talk, it's not their words I hear. I want to know the instrument by which they speak and where it is coming from. So I saw that he had a very rich volume of the river of inspiration in his belly. But I did not see his feet in the council of heaven. Unfortunately, I did not see his feet in the... Maybe he was there at some point, but at the time I met him, he was not talking from me. The way God is going to separate between ministers in this time is from that privilege, and is only open to those that please God. So the next time you hear Son of Man, it means the man after God's heart. It means the man that has been approved, the man unto whose image all men in the light must conform. I want to stand in the counsel of God. I want to hear the secrets and the decrees that come from his throne. I want to be galvanized by the 7 lamps that burn before him. Let the workings of the administration of spirits that come before him be seen in my life, in my witness, and in my testimony.